move into other subjects with you guys. I want to cover the waterfront and take phone calls today on what you see as the big crises, but also positive things in 2015, what you see coming in the next year. But, Joe, you've been focusing a lot in on the Ebola. From your research, is it an Ebola simulant like a lot of people think, including CIA people we've interviewed on air? And then if it is a simulant, why cover up people that then have the symptoms? Why disappear them? Is it a test at disappearing people? Is it a test at controlling the media?
I would say all of the above. And one of the best quotes I've heard and found so far is that the disease is in the vaccine. And initial reports from Liberia, if you remember, they were talking about the citizens in Liberia were saying how Ebola was a hoax and the vaccine was really the problem. Now, I don't know if this is Ebola or some mutation of it, but this is definitely in advance in preparation for their new federal healthcare architecture system of governance that they're going to be implementing. And this is part of the Federal Register. They have dates for compliance from 2015 through 2018 until, and they're going to do pilot programs, or they can do it through a declaration of an emergency. And either way, it's going to be coming. And what they're doing also is implementing part of the economy. The new economy will be also under this healthcare architecture.
That's right.
Excellent point. Keep elaborating, Joe or Doug.
I got to tell you, Joe has over 8,000 pages printed out, and we're going through every page. The groundwork, the architecture for this medical martial law that really combines the medical surveillance medical
surveillance through medical devices that will be mandatory. They're setting up an international universal healthcare system under the United Nations, and it's public. The United States has signed on to it. Even the president.
Incredible.
One of his first executive orders Barack Obama put out was 13.521, establishing a commission for the study of bioethical issues, in which it states that it may examine broader issues not linked to specific technologies, but not limited to the protection of human research participants, scientific integrity, and conflicts of interest in research, and the intersection of science and human rights. Now, what would cause a problem between the intersection of science and human rights, aside from some kind of
pandemic
or device? Correct.
And by the way, when you guys are saying this, it's completely spot on and really puts the pieces together. They're using AFRICOM to go in with a cover to set up bases in Africa. The troops are doing valiant work and helping people. They're compartmentalized, but still the larger system is they're the PR front that goes in. We predicted this back when Obama first got in. He's kind of the poster person to allow that invasion of Africa, obviously with the skin color and the African roots. And then you look at the medical tyranny of Obamacare, taking over society, the systems, the control, and then they basically tell us it's a trial run. Why do you think they flaunt it like Gruber, a new video out making fun of the American people? Now it's 9 videos calling us idiots, calling us stupid, ha, 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 he ripped us off. Why do they love to gloat?
Well, Alex, you've said this so much on your program. You know, they tell us what they're going to do, and then they laugh about it when they do it right in front of our faces. And Joe and I were talking about this, and then he did a lot of research on Gruber and the whole basis for this. What this is spiking the football, if you will, in the end zone, at least on the part of the Obama regime with respect to the Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act.
And they're coming to a point where a lot of their information and publications they put out are coded with references in English language, but it's hard to understand because they have their own language they use. And now they're starting to release in plain English what they're going to do, and the documents are finally coming together where they're giving you the definitions, their definitions of, for example, they say a human subject will be used as a scientific research participant on a voluntary basis. But it goes on to say voluntary is not, it's not as it sounds. Voluntary means compliance or consent to be used as a participant, but you have to be, there's under USC 42 that says if you are mentally disabled or disabled, and the term of disability means if you cannot do things, and I'll read right from the law, if you cannot care for yourself for manual tasks, seeing, hearing, eating, sleeping, walking, standing, lifting, bending, speaking, breathing, learning, reading, concentrating, thinking, communicating or working that's classified as
Sure. Stay there, guys. I want to come back and look at this more. This is very important. Calls are coming up. Other issues we're going to look at with you as well. But as soon as Bill and Melinda Gates and all these big companies started investing in this a year ago and all these vaccines were getting ready, I just said, get ready for Ebola because they got their vaccines rolling out. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Silver has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. Silverlungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at silverlungs.com. That's silverlungs.com.
Newsflash. Home invasions are on the rise. It takes less than 10 seconds to kick in a door. 10 seconds is not enough time to protect your family. And what would happen if you're not home? Easy Armor is the ultimate security solution. 85% of break-ins are through a door. Protect your home now with Easy Armor. Go to invasionstopper.com to get real security for under $70. That's invasionstopper.com. Easy Armor. Your security is our only business.
What good is a Big Berkey water filter?
We get that question a lot here at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And in a word, the answer is protection. Protection from water main breaks, E. coli contamination, environmental chemical spills, pesticide runoff, chlorine taste and smell, and all forms of fluoride. Plus, Big Berkey water filters are the original gravity water filter system and most trusted on the market for a reason. Tested by multiple independent NSF EPA certified labs, they are the gold standard in water purification. At only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. That means big savings. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get a Big Berkey today at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit our website or call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
This hour brought to you by InfidelBodyArmor.com. When it hits the fan, don't be left without the body armor that will save your life. With prices starting at just $374.99 and ships free. Get yours at InfidelBodyArmor.com. Just won't quit.
Hi, Ted Anderson with Midas Resources. Is it time to convert paper 401ks and IRAs to solid gold and silver yet? Get our 10 Reasons book free. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Do you have relatives and friends that are convinced there is no need ever to prepare for any kind of emergency? Are these also folks you buy Christmas presents for? At 30dayfoodsupply.com, we can solve both of these problems at the same time. Go to 30dayfoodsupply.com or call 541-229-0010. We can ship your Christmas presents directly to them. Choose from our original $99 30-day food supply, our long-term storage vegan burger mixes, and other oatmeal, soups, porridges, beans, and granolas for everyday use. All products are non-GMO, MSG-free, and vegetarian. Most are gluten, soy, and nut-free. Call 541-229-0010 today. Oregon Trail Foods and 30dayfoodsupply.com keep prices low, cutting out the middleman by buying directly from their producers in Oregon. Remember, only $10 ships your entire order to the lower 48. Visit the website 30dayfoodsupply.com. Call 541-229-0010. 30dayfoodsupply.com. 541-229-0010.
I'll tell you why I'm humbled. Alex Jones here, back live. Still alive. I've seen so much crazy stuff, been threatened so much, been attacked. And we're here. God's taking us through it. We don't just need to lie down to evil. We can stand up against it. Evil isn't the only force in the universe. That's the bottom line. Your phone calls, Ron in Hawaii. And we're going to talk to Barbara in Illinois and Indigo Kid in Colorado first when we come back. Ramon, Kevin, and many others. on what you think the big event will be in 2015 or maybe even this year. What's the next shoe to drop in the organized global crisis that the New World Order is clearly orchestrating and admitting in many cases they're orchestrating? Finishing up with medical tyranny, there are now reports coming out every few days I see where schools are inoculating children without consent. They're really pushing the vaccines. They're trying to tell nurses they'll be fired if they don't take all these vaccines. They're intimidating people. They're lying and saying it's the law. Finishing up with Hagman and Hagman, Doug Hagman and Joe Hagman, father and son team of investigative journalists and private detectives. Finishing up on Ebola, then I want to shift gears into what you think the other big events are. And one of the people, Barbara, asked from Illinois, and we're going to go to her, she thinks government coup may be the next thing. Well, it's already a coup if Congress lets Obama have all these executive orders on immigration, you name it.
That's right. You know what, Alex, I got to tell you, the coup is happening, and it has happened, basically. You talked about this, the right-left paradigm. It's gone. It's gone. We have, in fact, we just talked to a source this morning out in D.C. who said, watch over the next 30 to 60 days, especially over the next couple of weeks leading up to Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving holiday, where you're going to see Republicans and Democrats work together and force through or allow an executive order on amnesty. And everyone's throwing out this 40%. Well, Reagan signed an executive order allowing 40% of illegal immigrants some sort of allowance to remain here. Well, that 40% back in 1986 is a whole lot different than the 40% in 2014. But the fact of the matter is, the immigration is a big part of it, and just to wet people's whistle a little bit, toward 2015, especially toward the fall, you're looking at a major economic collapse. This is all being hidden. I mean, at the end of the road, Alex, what we're seeing here is the cover for a major economic collapse and the establishment of a digital currency that is going to mesh with the medical biotronics that we're dealing with right now.
That's right. Obamacare is the NSA rollout and legalizes a lot of NSA spying that's already going on to tie everything together. I mean, it's just so cold-blooded.
Exactly. And you pointed this out so many times. The flood of illegal immigrants, the legitimization of the illegal aliens here in this country, flooding our hospitals, bringing with them the diseases being dispersed all across the United States. The Cloward-Piven strategy is at play here. And ultimately, they need somebody to blame for this monetary meltdown that will occur, that'll take the U.S. dollar out. And what better excuse to say, hey, we never saw the Ebola crisis, or insert the pandemic here.
Bird flu, SARS too, who knows?
We just couldn't have ever. I mean, who'd have thought this? Who'd have thought this? And that's what they're doing. They're setting us up. It's all a big lie. The lie is just bigger at every single level.
Absolutely.
And that's what Joe has done.
You know, with this, some examples on the Ebola is not following standard operating procedure and actually seeing things that are opposite of common sense. Is when they warn about the dangers of Ebola and how much it is affecting people in West Africa, yet they keep travel open. And they don't restrict it. There's no, precautions taken. And they're flying people with Ebola here. I think it is more of a covering than to worry about the Ebola. I think it's a cover for what is coming down the line economically. The IMF is asking or demanding more power and a consolidation.
Well, it's just like we're under the UN with our military in Africa. They use all this where there's a global response. You don't control it at your border. You open your borders up, and then you have to go clean it up in Africa. This is what they said in the SPP documents, that they would use pandemics to bring in global government, so they would have continent-wide and transcontinent responses, not national responses, emasculating the national response forces or putting them under the UN. And by the way, in case you didn't hear it, folks, here's Obama saying this Ebola crisis is a trial run. Here it is.
And in many ways, what this has done is elevated that importance. There may come a time, sometime in the future, where we are dealing with an airborne disease that is much easier to catch and is deadly. And in some ways, this has created a trial run for federal, state, and local public health officials and healthcare providers,
That's right,
as well as the American people.
Going under federalization, we're going to come back with Hagmann and Hagmann straight ahead. I'm Alex Jones, Infowars.com. Their site is HagmannandHagmann.com. Your calls are straight ahead, and they'll give you their response and more of their take and their sources on what's coming in 2015 and how to stop it.
We're on the march.